So let's think about it this way. And the child shouldn't be doing this unless the child can tell you every single country in that continent. Otherwise, it's just like the metal inset when you say, what shape are you doing? Oh, no. If the head is empty and the hand is just busy drawing around stuff and coloring in stuff, we've got nothing going on here. But let's say the child does know the whole map of South America. And so what I would do then is take out the card material that you have in your cultural area of people who live there, whose purposely geography of the place that is populated. And so it shows something about the types of housing, it shows something about the types of vegetation, it shows about the terrain, it shows something about the foods they eat, the customs they have. There's interesting spoken language dialogue that goes along with people in Brazil. But here, the people in Peru live in this high, elevated country. Look, different in the mountains. Their farms are different, their crops are different, whereas over here in Guyana, which one would you choose? So they choose Venezuela. Okay. We can get out Venezuela, and then we're going to get a little smaller paper, and you can, if you want to, you can either draw it or trace it. Some of these little countries have some little tricky notes. But anyway, label it. Tell me what it is. And write a sentence about why you would like to visit Venezuela. What is it that captures your interest about Venezuela? This is where the child should be for reproduction in geography. So they finish that. And then I say to them, and maybe that's it for the day, and maybe it's time to go home. But the next day or somewhere later on, I would say, we're working with South America, and we talked about places you'd like to visit. Is there any other place besides Venezuela that you'd like to go? Well, no, I'd like to go to Bolivia. Let's get out another piece of paper, and you label Bolivia and write a sentence about what interested you about Bolivia, and so on. So you keep asking, is there another place? So what we're doing now, the child is really developing pages. And so we ask the question the third time, is there anywhere else you'd like to go? No. Okay, well, let's put your booklet about South America together. Let's make a cover. That's right, that it's about South America and who wrote it and date it. And then we can make covers and we can tie it up with ribbons, and this finished product goes in your folio. You know that that child knows that whole concept. You know that that child knows something about the contrasting elements. He does not. If you were going to go to South America, would you go to every country? Probably not. You would pick the ones that are most interesting. So why should the child be any different? You know he's got the vast amount of knowledge. He doesn't have to prove to you or the parents by reproducing every single one that he's learned it. That to me is a much more meaningful reproduction of maps than telling he's got to take out this enormous piece of paper, draw around all these countries, trace them all in, sit there and color them. I have no idea how many people were to tears. And what is going on out there? Not a whole lot. So that's my take on mapping. This is where now all the knowledge, all those wonderful lessons that you're giving start pouring out through the hand, really begin to express themselves in the art. Remember, these children are still in very factual mode. So they aren't, some people will criticize this because they'll say, well, they should be just free to do anything they want in art. Well, you know what, they will be, but right now they need to learn to use the tools. They need to learn to be aware that they have information in their head that they can express. And what they're expressing right now are the facts of things that they're taking in, because that's how they're thinking. So as they begin to turn closer to 6, then they get into the what ifs and start getting things that aren't.